right. What is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Happy New Year to you all. We are getting a new year. We are getting some pumpage in the crypto market. But, guys, is this a real breakout, or are we about to have a bunch of people get bullish at resistances and see another move down, another pump and dump that we've been seeing within our smaller 2.5 week long range, but also somewhat within our larger range over the last 6-7 weeks? Bitcoin is pumping. We're finally coming to take the range highs of this range, and we're taking out our weekend highs that we were looking to take out for a few weeks now. We are coming into very, very key resistance, and there is confluence on the total charts. I will go into this in just a second, but before I do, I want to pop in the chat and say Happy New Year to everyone. Yeshwant, much love to you as well, and Happy New Year to you. Glasshopper, good start to the new year. Yes, we are seeing a decent start to the new year, just like we saw in 2022 at the bottom. Happy New Year to you, man. Thank you for being here. Lost X, welcome in. You entered a short from 90.8. That's actually really good, man. And I think that we might get one more local high coming and hitting the value area high, but I'm also looking for shorts from this area. I haven't quite entered yet because money flow still looks pretty bullish here, but I am looking to short this. I'm looking for a little bit of a range to form in here. We did get the confirmed swing failure pattern of the weekend highs. You can see here. Let me zoom in onto the 1 hour chart. 1 hour swing failure pattern of the weekend highs into your golden pocket. Just above us, we have the anchored VWAP, the value area high, and the 0.65 of the golden pocket. And I'm looking for that. TNB will welcome in. Happy New Year to you as well. Power Invid 2906. Happy New Year, bro. Happy New Year to you, man. Thank you for being here. Guys, R Pink, much love to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. If you get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream, please hit the like button for me. Mod Daddy, welcome in. Fireworks for sure. And we are seeing fireworks in the crypto market today. Jaw Fuel, welcome in. What's up, guys? Happy Friday to you, man. Happy treating kisses because they happen anyway. Yes. Thank you, man. And thank you for joining the stream. Solana pumped, Jaw Fuel. Solana pumped past our 127.5 resistance. I did take a TP1 and got stopped out pretty much at break even. But we'll cover Solana as well. Kespo, welcome in. I know you just had to stop in. You're probably already gone, but welcome in. Sad2725, what's up, man? Dr. Rex, welcome in. Brother Nature Joe, Happy New Year to you. And Normal Swede, Happy New Year. Is it a good time to short? Well, we are at resistance right now, and we do have confluence. I have not shorted yet, guys. I actually, I missed. I would have shorted if we saw the, I'll go into that in just a second. I was not at my charts when just about an hour or 2 hours ago when this happened, driving the kids around actually, but I'll go into that. And AXSCB, Happy New Year. So guys, Bitcoin has been in this larger range for about 6 weeks. I was talking about how this range, this larger range is likely to be unresolved coming into probably next Monday, you know, when the 5th, January 5th, when the markets really start to open back up again, and maybe even a few days into the new year. One of the possibilities we did talk about, though, was how when the new year hits, if we're seeing consolidation right at the end of the year after a big dump. Last time we had a huge dump around the end of the new year, and huge dump consolidation started. This was obviously the bottom of a much larger dump in a bear market. But come January 1st, you can see here, January 1st, we started a massive pump to the upside. So I was saying maybe we do see something like this come new year. Maybe when the markets kind of are reset, all the big boys come back from their Christmas breaks and everything, we start to see some bullish price action. We haven't started the big pump up yet, and I don't know if it's going to happen the way it happened in 2022. We're at a different stage of the cycle, but it is a possibility that we were watching for. Now, locally, we've been just trading our ranges. We've been in two ranges. We've been in our larger 6.5 week range, and we've been in a smaller range for about 2.5 weeks. On, I think it was Tuesday, I talked about this range here. Tuesday and Wednesday, we talked about this range here being likely to continue through the New Year's. And we were looking at really only a couple levels within this range. We were looking at the value area low. Actually, we were looking at the 86.3K lows. And I really did think those were going to get taken out, and they still could. We could reject from here and finally come down and take out those lows and continue this range, or we're going to either break out here because we do kind of see this ascending triangle that's forming here. And if we start to break out of this ascending triangle, we could break up to come grab your highs at 94.6. But this larger or this smaller range here is what we've been focusing on. And we've been focusing on really the highs of this range, those weekend highs from a few Saturdays ago into your golden pocket, into your value area high, and into an anchored VWAP. Now, I said I would be looking for shorts in this from this resistance area, and I am still looking for shorts. I probably would have shorted it if I was at the charts earlier today. But let me go in real quick to the total market caps because we are also at resistance on our total market caps. And you guys know that I often will switch over to the total charts to see if we're at resistance on the total charts as well for added confluence. So with this is the total market cap chart. It includes all of crypto. First off, you can see we came down to the bottom of our macro pitchfork. We have been holding the bottom of this macro pitchfork very, very nicely. And this area of the last 2 weeks in particular, every time we come down to the bottom of the pitchfork, we held it and we were bouncing. We were holding the value area low of our range. We were holding the bottom of the pitchfork. And now we're pushing up and we're breaking above our local highs here. We're breaking above these, which is in some ways bullish. But we want to see continuation. We actually want to break through this resistance right here. But we are at our golden pocket and value area high resistance. You can see pulling our golden pocket from the range highs to the lows after that high. We are coming up into our golden pocket, and it's also the value area high of this range. So we are at resistance on the total market cap. If we go to the total 2 market cap, you can see that the total 2 is not quite at resistance. We're coming up here a little bit. We can come up a little bit higher, and the altcoins are pumping a little bit more than Bitcoin. So we can see that. But if we go to total 3 market cap, we are also at resistance, hitting our value area high, hitting our golden pocket of our larger 6-7 week long range. And this could be the area where we do pull back. Now, I definitely would not be longing in this area. If you haven't caught a long from lower, you have to be patient and wait either for a pullback from here or a breakout confirmation of the back test, and then you can long that back test there. And that includes on the Bitcoin chart as well. So like if we're looking at Bitcoin, we want to really see a breakout of this resistance, a flip to support, and then upon this flip to support, we can look to long the breakout here. But nothing has really changed. We are still just within our larger range, and we've just taken our more local range highs that we've been looking to take. Now that this liquidity has been taken and we do have the confirmed swing failure pattern, we could roll right back over here, guys. A lot of people are getting bullish, and there is some bullish indicators on the chart. I mean, money flow looks pretty good. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, you can see money flows curving nicely to the upside, but we are printing hidden bearish divs a few hours ago. Now, those hidden bear divs didn't really play out. And let's look more locally. Let's go in onto the hourly chart. And on the hourly chart, you can see we are creating bear divs on the chart. Higher highs in the price action here, lower highs in the momentum waves, lower highs in the momentum waves. Money flow on NAMI is curving to the downside, and NAMI's money flow is quicker than Market Cipher B's money flow. So definitely at resistance. If you are in long positions from lower, I would definitely be pulling some profit. Me personally, this is not financial advice, and I don't give financial advice, but I personally would have taken some profits when we hit this golden pocket here. Could we come up another time? Yes, we can, and I'll talk about why we can come up. So I'm going to hide our larger 6.5 week long range, and we're going to go into that range that we've been in for about 2 to 3 weeks, that smaller range, this guy here. You can see that we broke out of the value area high. First of all, we bounced from the POC of the range. We rose up. We broke out of the value area high. We back tested the value area high. We came up. And now even on Coinbase, we're back testing the value area high again, and we're holding it, and we're attempting to truly see the bullish back test of the value area high and flip it to support to continue higher here. And we might form the bearish scenarios. We're going to form a bit of a range in here, maybe like a topping reversal pattern, and then we're going to dump back into the range. That would be very bad. And if we do dump back into this range, I do think we will come for the lows. But if we can break out of this guy here, I think we are going to see continuation. We do have some levels to be looking at, some new levels on the chart. So if I turn on our daily levels, we do have a brand new daily level at about $87,500. You can see our range point of control is there as well. And we do have a naked daily point of control right on top of that. So that is now going to be acting as a support level. That guy right there. And if we pull our golden pocket from those last lows at 86,350 up to our new highs, you can see our 786 is going to be coming in right around that area as well. So it is developing some nice confluence for support around 87.5 to 87.3. Okay, and then yeah, now above us, you can see with the naked day, with the daily and the naked daily levels turned on, we do have and we also, guys, we also have a naked weekly point, naked monthly, excuse me, point of control just a bit higher here at 91.5. We might push up to hit that naked monthly, one more high within this box of resistance. But above us at 92.3 to 92.5, we do have another naked daily point of control and another daily level. I have that box marked out on the charts. Let's see if that is right there. It's from way back. We've been having this way back on the charts. It's also a 786 Fibonacci in that area. So we do have some resistance above at about $92,500. But what I would be looking for, if we're going to break this key, this box is more important resistance, the box of resistance that we're at right now. If we're going to break above this box, I think we might see a small rejection from 92.5, only to come back and back test our value area high of our larger 6.5, 7 week long range. And then we might continue pushing up to take out our 94.6K highs, coming up maybe even to about $96.5 to $97,000, where we do have the large range point of control and the some naked daily points of control, some other levels in there. But yeah, guys, so let's see here. Many times first pump then dump. Yeah, Tiki Taku, welcome in. And Quiles 1100, welcome in. We're at resistance. I have to say that. We're at resistance. We do have confluence of resistance on the total market cap charts. We do have bear divs confirmed on the 1 hour chart. We have bear divs confirmed on the 15-minute chart. We have bear divs confirmed on the 15-minute chart very slightly. And money flow local bear divs on the 15-minute chart. But look at this. Recently, we printed a hidden bull div on this wick low here, back testing that value area high on the bullish back test. Coinbase had a bit bigger of a wick than other exchanges did. If we go on to Bybit, you can see that Bybit does not have a huge wick here like Coinbase had. So just be aware of that. We could continue down so that all the exchanges are going to kind of hit that same wick. Another thing that we have to look at, this is the Bybit chart, and pulling the 7 week long range on Bybit, you can see that the value area high is a bit higher. It is going to be at around $91,600, around $91,600. So knowing that we have that naked monthly point of control at $91,500, let's just go ahead and throw that naked monthly point of control on there. Okay, so it's a little bit lower on Bybit. Let me just double check to make sure Coinbase is fresh. This is a fresh naked monthly. Ooh, okay. You guys, I am mistaken. That is an old naked monthly point of control. I have to get rid of that. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, we still have a lot of confluence of resistance in this area. Just above us on the Bybit chart, the value area high of our 6 week long range is a bit higher. It's at 91.5K. And that is where the back test of our pitchfork band is going to be as well. And since we've lost our pitchfork band and fallen inside the bigger band, let me hide this range, and you will see that we hit the bottom of the pitchfork band. I'm going to zoom out to the daily real quick so we can get a better look at this. We often see consolidation within these pitchfork bands, the larger pitchfork bands. And this pitchfork has been a very highly respected pitchfork. You can see that rejected all-time high, dropped all the way down to the bottom of the band, bounced from the bottom of the band, came up to the top again. We saw that distribution range at the top. We have dropped back down to the bottom, bounced from the bottom, and we've been just chopping inside of this band. Now, since we lost it about 3 weeks ago, we've been forming that small range underneath it, this little consolidation range underneath it. What we don't want to see is rejection from that bearish backtest, because that means we could drop to the bottom again and we could still form this bigger. We could still just continue this larger range in here. So 91.5, a little bit higher. We do have that resistance. It is a little bit peaking above that golden pocket at around 91K. And of course, we just hit that golden pocket today, a couple hours ago. So let's see how Bitcoin reacts once VWAP is going to be important as well. If we do come down to VWAP very, very locally, like 15-minute time frame and under, if we come down to VWAP, we bounce from VWAP, I would expect us to either reject from the golden pocket 786 area and then dump, or we're going to see some sort of new high and possibly this kind of topping reversal intraday range that forms in here before dumping to the downside. I don't like how total market cap is also at resistance. Total market cap is hitting that resistance right now. We are seeing a nice rejection from the resistance. The one thing that is keeping me from thinking a range could form here is the value area high is an important volume level of resistance, and it is just above the golden pocket. So we often see where we will peak and wick a little bit past that golden pocket, and we might be forming another local high in another little range within here. Because, and the reason why I'm also thinking it could form a range at this resistance is we are going into the weekend. It is Friday. The weekend is happening. Also, it's been a holiday type, week. A lot of people are off. A lot of people are off until the 5th or, even the 7th. A lot of people don't come back till the 7th. So, all right. Triangle target is 97K. Is that triangle target? Okay, I haven't even looked at that triangle target. Let me zoom out here to the 4-hour chart. We can just kind of throw on that. Like if we do something like this. Let me turn off these levels. Let me clean this chart up, guys. I hope you all had a good, safe New Year's. I know I did. I had a great time with my friends, some friends that were visiting, some family members. All right, and I want to take this. We're just going to do that. Grab this. Yeah, 90. So it depends on how you pull the triangle. I'm looking at more like if you want to pull it like this, you could pull it like that, or you could pull it like I just had it. So let's look at both those targets. We'll just throw this on here. Yeah, 97K, 95K. This 95.5 one would be nice because look at, we would come up, we would SFP the highs, hitting your triangle target, breakout, and then you could see a swing failure pattern of those highs. Another possibility that we did talk about a few weeks ago was seeing that larger complex correction. I'm just going to hide this. We're going to get rid of some of this stuff here. We were looking at a larger 3-wave corrective move in here, because all of this so far, there's no motive type price action. This entire structure here still looks like a corrective structure. And we were looking at possibly seeing another high, another one last push up in here to take out those highs and possibly even come up, to 98K to backtest that Fibonacci channel once again before rejecting. Overall, guys, we still are below the Fibonacci channel. This Fibonacci channel rejected us after we lost it 3 times. That little 3-tap pattern that we see rejected. But Bitcoin's holding on strong. And you can see for the most part, besides this little bit of wiki price action at the bottom, we're really holding like 84, 85K pretty nicely. All right, let me check the chat here. Basically everything we would want to see to look for shorts. Yeah, normal Swede, we do have confirmations here to look for shorts. We had the swing failure pattern. We had the bear divs confirmed on like the 1 hour, the 15-minute. The one thing that I don't like money flow, especially like that 2-hour money flow, has got me a little bit worried. When 2-hour money flow starts to peak up like this, now I know that NAMI is quicker and NAMI has confirmed bear divs and money flow is draining out right now. Total market cap also being at resistance helps. That gives us confluence that we could reject. Total 3 market cap being at resistance gives us confluence that we could reject. If I was at the charts when this happened, so let me zoom in onto the 12-minute chart. You can see earlier today, a couple hours ago, we had that initial push up and we had the swing failure pattern of the weekend highs, but we had a small drop and then we came and we swing fail patterned the highs from earlier today, and that's when we're getting our bigger drop. But still, you can see Coinbase volume levels I like better than Bybit's, and our VWAP, our volume weighted average price based on the daily trend, is holding as support. And so when the VWAP holds the support here, now that the VWAP is holding, we can at least look for that golden pocket to 786. So what we can do now, pull our Fibonacci, and this gets a little bit complicated because Coinbase has this wick, but Bybit does not. So I understand if you'd want to use a different chart because Coinbase is the only one, but I would actually be looking, let's do this as well. Let's pull our Fibonacci from the highs to these lows here. Yeah, that golden pocket, I would be looking in this general area here, around $90,400 to $90,500. If we come up to there and start to reject this area, we might see that bigger push down. And we need to watch our small 3-week long range value area high. Let me just change this up a little bit. There we go. And then I will take this one and we're just going to put on golden pocket. All right. So this 3-week long range value area high is now acting as support. You can see that's going to be coming in right around $89,000. If you lose $89,000, it's a high likelihood that we do fill at least down to your 87.5K point of control, where there is the naked daily point of control and there is the daily level right on top of that. And our 786 is close by. Okay, Dr. Goat, what's up, man? Welcome in. And how you doing, man? I hope you had a good New Year's. 91,200 anchored VWAP from August 5th low. Okay, let's check this out. August 5th. August 5th low. You might be talking August 2024. Yeah, okay. That's that 49K anchored VWAP. So yes, the 49K anchored VWAP is, at least on Coinbase, you can see that it is coming in. It's in our box. Let me just say, I'm just going to get rid of these for a second. And let me hide this one. You can see that our August 5th 49K anchored VWAP, at least on Coinbase, it's coming in, yeah, 91,200. You're right. So that is an area I will be looking for as well. I mean, that's within our box of resistance. So our box really was from 91K to 91.5. And I would even say 91.2 is acceptable. Full moon tomorrow. Okay, well, we do know historically full moons have pumped us. Money flow on the daily is about to cross up into the green and on Market Cipher B. And we did get that nice, it's still not great that we didn't see bull divs at this low, daily bull divs. You can see no daily bull divs, but we did get that nice higher low, and we had some nice trigger waves in here. So this would look like the perfect bottom if we had bull divs in this low. Gosh, I would be looking for a potential swing long. Overall, though, we have to remember market structure is king, and market structure still from the all-time high is bearish. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So even we could even still do something where we change market structure bullishly within this correction, but then continue the dump down. All right. Yes, but BTC has definitely been coiling up for a big move. Not only within this 6-7 week long range, But within 3 weeks, we've been coiling up, and we talked about how when Bitcoin coils up and when these bands squeeze together super tightly like this, you generally see a big move and some expansion, very similar to Bollinger Bands. I want to check out our liquidation heat map here real quickly. Man, that liquidity still resting down around $86,000. There is a lot of liquidity. And think in terms of range trading, guys. We just now took out our range highs into resistance with bear divs. What's now to say that the market makers are not just going to dump it to take out your range lows? That would, I think, cause the most pain right now. We are seeing people becoming hyper bullish right now on YouTube, on Twitter. So, yeah, let's check out our order flow. It's actually pretty neutral here. We are seeing some bullish CVD divergences. We were seeing bullish CVD divergences. Now, those bullish CVD divergences have played out when you took out those highs at around $90,700. So, but yeah, some nice divergences. Even locally, you could see within this rise up, we were making higher lows in the price action. We were making lower lows in the CVD, and your open interest was increasing. So you were seeing bullish CVD divergences. But the target for those divergences would be your highs, and we have now taken out those highs into resistance. Very locally, since, let's see, that was around 89,800. This is the real area we want to focus on. This, when we're actually hitting resistance. Dang, and sure enough, like always, guys, this never fails. Let's zoom into the 5-minute chart here. You can see that we had fresh longs stepping in at the highs. Look at, like, from this area here, the back test of the VWAP, this general area, we saw longs stepping in, and a lot of those were fresh long positions that were stepping in. And now that we're dumping with the swing failure pattern, we're seeing those longs starting to get squeezed out. Late longers wrecking the party for the rest of the longers. And what is a long that is forced to sell? It's a short. That's why you see your CVD going down in that area, and your open interest is going down, because it's not new shorts that are coming in. It's those late longers that are now starting to get stopped out. Very locally in the past, 15 minutes here, we are seeing some long step in. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles last 20 minutes or so. We are seeing long positions come in, and those are fresh long positions. So we see some people starting to long that VWAP. At least the Coinbase VWAP has just been tapped, and some people are starting to long that. You can see right there, from that tap of the VWAP, we had fresh longs coming in. All right, let's see. It might pump there, guys. Yeah, what we're going to see, I'm being patient with this. We had the swing failure pattern. If you didn't get into that swing failure pattern, then I would be cautious and be waiting right now, because yes, we absolutely could break out of this. And remember, I told you guys this all last week, that I would not be setting limit short in this box. Even though it's a very nice resistance up here, I would not be setting limit shorts, because there is the possibility that we could break that symmetrical triangle or ascending triangle to the upside, and we could really start to see some pumpage here. Yeah, 95K. 95K is a nice little area. We have the liquidity of those larger range highs up in that area. And then, of course, we do have around 92,500. We have some small resistance in there as well. Okay, let's see. Is there any other option to join your Telegram channel? My Indian bank is not supporting to add money in BYDFI. Like subscription for Telegram. Yeshwanth, not yet. With the new year coming, I do plan to make some changes this year. I think I am going to start a Telegram, not a Telegram, a Discord community. And so unfortunately, no, there's not a way. With Telegram, with BYDFI in particular, I'm not sure if you're not allowed to put money straight from your bank into there. Maybe if you have USDT, like sitting on a hot wallet, like a MetaMask or something like that, you could transfer the money in that way. Or if you have like a Binance account, you could transfer USDT into Binance to BYDFI that way. I can talk to my agent about that, and I'll get back to you on that, Yeshwant. Anyone short dread mining, welcome in, man. Not short yet. I missed it. I was driving while we actually did that second SFP there, but I'm looking to get into the short still. If we start to form a range up here, it would even be nice, I think locally nicer, if we made one more little high and created another drive of bear div. I want to see that money flow really starting to roll over too. But we can be patient here because we're gonna either break out pretty aggressively, or we're going to, in my opinion, dump pretty aggressively from this area, because we are at a very, very key spot, a very key decision point for Bitcoin. Within it's the resolution of this smaller range within a bigger range where we could either explode to the highs or the lows of the larger range. Okay, just moved to Pakistan. I did take the short at 90.6, but also still long from 87K-ish. Awesome, man. Gerb YQ, that's sounds like you're hedged really nicely. That if you did do that, man, from your 87K long, if this was me personally, and this is not financial advice, I would be taking some of that profit out at this area. And then I would be, and obviously you shorted from here. Now, if we do come back down to 87.5K, I would take out some of the short from this short here, from the 91.6 or 90.6K short. But that's awesome hedging there. Awesome range trading, man. Give me the 97K short. Yeah, I'm actually looking at about, so if we turn on our macro range, this is our macro volume profile that goes back pretty much all of 2025. You can see this larger range in here that goes back all 2025. And the POC of that range on Coinbase is coming in right around 96.5 to 96.6. Let me zoom in on that now. And that would be an area where I would be looking for. So here's the other thing, guys. Our value area low of that range, you can see we kind of had a deviation from it when we lost the 80, when we dropped to 80.5K, but we kind of got back inside it, back tested it, back tested it, back tested it, back tested it, and now we could break up to test that POC. If we test that POC, reject from that general area at 96.5, even up to about 98K. You don't know how many times I've seen this on smaller time frames where we lose a channel. We have the immediate back tests. We fall down, we make a higher low, then we kind of create that next high, and then we drop. And this in itself creates a ascending channel. Let's actually look at that. Let's pull that ascending channel. We'll do this and pull it down to here. Yeah, so this, let me make this blue so that you guys can see this a little bit better. Our sort of ascending channel here in blue. Or we could even pull it. I'm going to hide that one, and we could use the 2 key lows as well. Actually, that one's nicer. That one's nice, more nicely respected. The midline is more nicely respected. So I would be using this channel. Let's get rid of this one. You can see the midline of the channel is going to be right around our 92.5K area of resistance. And with that area of resistance, let me get rid of this here. If we do start to break this box of resistance we're at now, we could see a rejection from 92.5 to back test 89K, where that smaller range value area high is. And then we could work our way up to 96 to about 98, 96.5 to 98. All right, I want to check out our Model 1 heat map, and let's look here. Last week. Guys, there's just so much liquidity resting down at 86K. We came so close to it. And I mean, we have this liquidity trail now that is just begging to be taken out. So if we are going to reject from here, we are going to come take that out. It's very high likelihood. I shouldn't say we are. It's a high likelihood that we are going to take out all that liquidity. And once again, it would be the market makers playing a bunch of retail traders that get bullish at the highs of the range, take the highs of the range, take the liquidity into resistance, trap a bunch of long traders in this general area. So we'll just see. We'll see how it plays out. We still have a few hours left until the market closes. And then it's like, Saturdays are really sideways and boring, but Sunday we might have some price action as well. We finally have some good asks on the book above us. Okay. What are you looking at, an aggregated order book, or are you looking at just a certain exchange? Dogecoin, do Doge. Yeah, we can check out Dogecoin. We'll check out Doge. We'll check out Solana. I'm just monitoring Bitcoin for just a few more minutes here. And also I want to go through this chat here. How much will you price the Discord community? I haven't decided on that yet. It definitely will be cheaper because it's just me in that Discord community. So it won't be, I know Jason charges $65 a month. I know Chart Champions is like $250 a month. Some of the other guys, 100 and 150. It won't be near as high as those guys. The max it would be a month is 40, but I might not even do that. So double top here looks more like a change of behavior from the previous local tops. Yeah, that is true. The previous local tops, especially within this range, have been pump and dumps, pump and dump. Even here, little pump and dump, pump and dump. This was a little bit of a range that formed in here. Pump and dump though. Yeah, so it would be a little bit of a change of behavior, but also this is the really key resistance up here that we need to break. And within this box, there was different levels, right? You had your golden pocket, you have your 0.65, you have your anchored VWAP, you have your value area high. And the value area high has not been hit yet. So sometimes we wait until that value area high is hit. And at least on Coinbase, it is at, let's see, what is that? 91,135, let's say. On Bybit, it's a little bit higher. Bybit's about 91.5. Right where that pitchfork band is. You can see right there at 91.6. It's closer to 91.6, 91.576. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. Okay, we will test 103 to 104K. Yeah, another thing we have to watch for, guys, is that 50-week moving average. That 50-week moving average is really going to be a key back test. Right now, it looks like it's coming in right around 101.6, $101,600. But that is going to be important because historically, once we've lost that, we have had a bearish back test of it. So lose it, bearish back test, drop. That's how it reacted in our prior cycles. I will show you that. First off, during the bull cycle, that 50-week moving average, support, support, support. So it's been a historical support here. But you can see in the bear market, at the end of the last bull cycle, you lose it, kind of that corrective range to backtest it. You backtest it, you fail, continue the bear market, or really confirm the bear market. So the backtest of that 50-key anchored VWAP. And remember, we actually looked at this the other day. We threw on that bars pattern. Let me see if this is the chart that we were using. No, let's go to this chart here. Index chart. All right. Here we go. There it is right there. That bars pattern. So that is a fractal of this. The ranges look very similar, actually. You have your big, this would be like the 80K low, your pump up to backtest 94.5, higher low. You get that one last, and look at within here too. You kind of have this one last zigzag to the upside, ending that last wave with a high amount of volume. And you even had your little bit of a consolidation range in there. So it's similar. Obviously, it's not going to be the exact, but history does rhyme. And let's see if we get that. Looks like it could be. Look at that. Looks almost exact, right there. Of course, you'd want to push up a little bit higher. By the time we get over there, it could be towards the middle of January. This would be dropping every week still. Okay. Yeah, I like Discord much better than Telegram. Okay. I know a lot of people do like Discord. Price it at $250 a month so Jaw Fuel can't get in. I want Jaw Fuel in there though, man. Jaw Fuel's an awesome dude. Bitcoin driven by institutional money to 100K or 108K for the coming days. That's possible. That is absolutely possible. We can also look at, what is it? The M2 money supply. Where is that? M2 10-week lead. There we go. There's one where I can throw it on the charts. Let me find that one. So you can see here, when your M2 global money supply is rising, Bitcoin tends to follow it. They correlate pretty closely. It'll drop and then Bitcoin drops later. So we've been pushing up pretty steadily, and it was going sideways here while Bitcoin was dropping. Now it's been starting to rise again. So maybe we are going to see a break up here. As far as the market structure should give you the highest. Market structure is king, right? You want to follow market structure, and market structure still is bearish overall in this dump to the downside. Market structure still is bearish. Now, locally, yes, you could say you have some bullish market structure within this range that we've been seeing for the past 7 weeks. For me, I'm still really worried about this 3-wave corrective move here, coming to take out your 94.6K highs, maybe even up to about 96.5, 97K, and then seeing that dump. And we do have to keep in mind, we still have the higher time frame bear divs that historically, anytime we've had monthly bear divs and like multiple drives of weekly bear div on the chart, we have had an extended multi-month long corrective move, a dumping move, bearish move, I should say. 103 weekly Ichimoku. Okay, the Ichimoku cloud is at 103 to 104. Yes, historically they have touched and rejected off of that 50-week moving average or that Ichimoku cloud. Okay. I've noticed that hardly anyone uses Lux Algo price action concepts. Why is that? I don't know why certain people don't or do use a certain tool, an indicator or tool, but Lux Algo does have some really, really nice tools. So I don't know if I've even used Lux Algo much, but everyone just has their own tools they use. Yeah, we'll go into Doge. Let's go into Doge here. Now, excuse this chart, guys. I do not keep an object tree on Doge because I do not trade Doge. So this chart is an absolute mess and an absolute nightmare, but we're going to zoom in here and we're going to look at Doge here. Let me just get rid of, we haven't looked at Doge in quite a while. We are coming down to our larger golden pocket. You can see around 12.2 to 11.8. It was also the bottom of our bigger descending channel. So let me clean some of this up for a second, and I will discuss what we're looking at here. We're coming up to a naked daily point of control right now, but you can see this pink channel. It's highlighted. It's thicker. It's from these two highs here. So at the dead cat bounce high to the lower high that was created, and then I bring it down to this low here, and we've been trading within that channel. You see we lost the midline, rejected, came down to the bottom, bounced from the bottom, bounced from the bottom, bounced from the bottom, and now we're really pushing up to that midline and that naked daily point of control. The one thing I would say here is let me hide the channel now, and we're going to look at the pitchfork, which has even been more highly respected because you have your bearish pitchfork here. That pitchfork was pulled from the highs down to your first major lows to that higher low or lower high, excuse me. And here, I'll just get rid of some of this stuff so we can see it a little bit better. You can see we dropped to the upper band of the pitchfork. We bounced, but we rejected your lower high golden pocket. Now on the October crash, we crashed all the way to the bottom of the pitchfork. But excluding that wick, you can see we chopped down, bounced from the midline, lower high, lost the midline, back tested, back tested, back tested. And once again, it's that 3 taps. We often see these on channels and pitchforks. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. Out of the third tap, you couldn't, you drop. So now if we do come up to back test that midline again around 14.5 cents, and let's actually pull our golden pocket from our last daily or the first rejection from the bearish back test of the midline down to our lows. Yeah, we're at our golden pocket and a naked daily point of control resistance right now. So if you are on if you did long Doge, you are starting to come up into resistance. Yes, and let's pull another from those dead cat bounce highs all the way to the lows. And we have to put that on log scale because that's more than a 30% drop. All right. Nah, I don't like that too much. There's not much there. $26% there. Okay. So now not quite 30%. So we're at the golden pocket. The reason why I pulled it from this high, because that is when you lost your pitchfork midline. You can see it's also a support resistance flip. Acting as support here, now resistance here. So it's a support resistance flip. It was the support resistance flip of your pitchfork midline. And so we're coming up to that naked daily point of control. Let's also check out our naked weeklies. Yeah, naked weekly as well. It's a naked weekly, naked daily point of control. You can see, actually, it hasn't quite been tapped yet. It's just above us on that, pretty much right where the golden pocket is at 14 cents. 14, let's just say 14.1. So I would be really cautious if you are long on Dogecoin. You are coming up into that resistance. And also just above us at the midline of the pitchfork, you do have a naked daily point of control at the midline of the pitchfork. Sometimes we do wick past golden pockets. And so if we wick past the golden pocket to hit that naked daily, I also want to put on the 786 there. Okay, 786 a bit higher. So just be aware that you are coming up to some, or you're pretty much at resistance right now. Money flow looks pretty bullish here. Nami is creating some local bear divs on the hourly. 2 hour even has some local bear divs, and money flow is coming out. But market cipher looks strong right there. I would watch. We still quite haven't hit the golden pocket yet. So at least locally, I would expect to come a little bit higher to hit this naked daily in this golden pocket. Yeah, and the 15-minute is starting to develop some significant bear divs here. So you can see from this entire move up, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. You have your lower highs all the way through here. And then your money flow overall is kind of draining out as well. Potential bear divs very locally if we come up a little bit higher and then roll over here. Yes, and I wanna pull a volume profile of all the price action that's underneath your midline. Okay, your POC, yeah. So you're right around POC, naked daily POC, and your golden pocket. We could even actually do this and take just this sideways range right here. Either way, it's either gonna be a POC or a value area low, but you have a volume level of resistance with a naked daily and with that uh, point of control. Okay, let's see. Let me check the chat again here. All right. How is everyone expecting 103K when we are below 90K and have been for a month? Yeah, Lost X, we take it level to level, right? So I'm not expecting 103K until we can even break above 91K. We break above 91K, then sure, I'll start looking at like 96 and a half to 97K. We break above 97K, that's when I can start looking up towards 101 to 103. But for now, you level to level as traders. Bull market support is still over 100K. Yeah, and that's another thing is that the bull market support band is over 100K, so we're below the bull market support band. Oh, my Glasshopper, thank you for that. My Telegram layout's been the best I've seen. Well, I have to thank BYDFI for that because they have really kind of set that up for me and helped me with that. So, by the way, guys, really quickly, while we're talking about that, the Telegram, I do have a few partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description of this video, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees. You can earn up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you trade in those derivatives futures markets. And they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. So if you deposit $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest amount I've seen on a $100 deposit. They're doing 20%, 10% deposit bonuses if you deposit larger amounts. Also, I partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community where I do post my thoughts on the market. I do post some trade setups in there. You guys can tag me in the general chat, ask me questions about Bitcoin or about other altcoins and things like that. And we do trade altcoins in that Telegram community as well. So it's free to get in. The only thing you need to do to get in is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and then deposit $100. That $100 is your money to trade with. You're just using the exchange as kind of the vehicle to trade it. Once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And once you're in the Telegram, type in /verify in your user ID, which will be right up here. It's probably going to be a string of letters and numbers for you, but that'll get you access to the Telegram community. And once you're in, you're in. The second partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. And NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator down here underneath Market Cipher B. So I use it as a tool for entry and exit on my trade confirmations. As we're coming up to a key level of resistance, first off, price action first, indicator second. So first, we mark out our levels of interest, both to the downside as support and to the upside as resistance. And once the asset is climbing to that price, now I'm going to be coming down to my indicators to look for bear divs for confirmation to short. So NAMI has been a really great tool. The money flow is actually based off real money flow. Market Cipher B is an algorithm of money flow mixed with some EMA stuff. And it is quicker than Market Cipher B as far as the money flow and the momentum waves confirming the dots. Also, it confirms the dots a little bit quicker. So if you're interested in getting NAMI, they have partnered with the channel. They're giving you guys, if you use my affiliate link in the description, they're giving you a 50% discount on NAMI. So it is a paid indicator, but 50% off. I was able to get you guys. Divine 50's discount code, and both the link and the discount code are in the description below. Then lastly, we do have Bybit and MEXC, two other exchanges I partnered with, both great exchanges. MEXC is offering a 10% deposit bonus, and Bybit is offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses. So if you want to sign up with either of those exchanges, it's just a way to say thank you and to help the channel. Also, guys, would you please hit the like button if you did get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream so far? And let's get back to the price action here. Let's see. Let me check the chat and see what you guys are saying. Okay, what's your take on syrup? It looks like Bart Simpson pattern ready to play. Okay, we'll look at syrup here, vibe all day. I'm gonna look at Solana next for jaw fuel. Solana is coming up to a resistance, a POC resistance, but I think Solana is looking pretty bullish here. But we will check out syrup for you. And CJ, welcome in, man. Are you still looking for 78K? Yes, CJ, I still am looking for 78K. We might, if we break out of 91K, we might come up to 96.5 before coming down to, we have that macro value area high at 96.5, and we might be seeing a larger corrective structure before coming down to 78. But this could be a larger complex correction in here where you see that bigger three-wave corrective move up to that POC before dropping here to 78K. That is in the scenario that we break out of this resistance right here, then I think we might see that. Yeah, okay. $1 a day seems okay, so $31. Yeah, I mean, honestly, $1 a day is pretty cheap, you know. But I get, yeah, that's reasonable there. That is reasonable. I'm looking for $5,000 Bitcoin as bear market target. $5,000. Wow. You know, if it hits 33K, 33 to I think 32K, I will be buying a lot of it. Do you not see a big drop coming, or am I delusional? No, I see Bobby C1Y3F. I actually do see a big drop could be coming. You know, the thing is the drop going to start from here and drop down, or is it going to, are we going to see that three-wave corrective move first, that larger three-wave corrective move before dropping? But overall, we're below our Fibonacci channel, and we've rejected on the back test of that Fibonacci channel. So for me, and also more macro price action is still bearish, making lower lows and lower highs. This low also, there was a problem with this low as far as it being a macro low. Okay. All right, let's get in. I'm sorry, guys. I'll finish reading the chat after we get in. I'm going to quickly cover some altcoins. So Solana is breaking its small range. This is that like 2.5 week long range. It's breaking out of the value area high of that range. We did short the other day in the Discord. We shorted 127.5. This, well, first of all, we shorted 129. We were looking at that short from 129. There was a daily level and a liquidity grab into that area. Also, I think a naked daily point of control up there. We came down to the value area low. We bounced. And then now what we're seeing from that bounce, this does look like it could be a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move to the upside. We could be seeing the start of an impulse to the upside. And that also could be this is a bit worrisome because well, I actually haven't measured that, but if your third wave is the shortest, it would invalidate that as an impulse. So wait, that's 4.5, 4.15. This is, yeah. So that's the issue with that. Your third wave would be the smallest wave. So you need, if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4 flat, 5 with an extended fifth wave, your third wave cannot be the shortest wave in an impulse. That's a hard rule on Elliott wave. So you cannot count that as a 5 wave move. So therefore, we couldn't count all of this as a wave 1, a wave 2, and we're in a big wave 3 right now, 4, 5, something like that. But you could look at this as a complex corrective move here, ending in a big push up on a C wave, and then this could be the start of a new impulse here. But we are pushing up, and we're pushing up right now. We're hitting the larger range point of control. So remember on Solana, let me hide this smaller range for a second. We'll pull on our large range that goes back to March of 2024. That's your major range. And I'm going to hide this intermediate range for a second. So we've been forming a sideways range between the point of control and the value area low. And I've talked about this. Jawfield, you're probably sick of death to hearing me talk about this because I know I've talked about it on almost every stream. We've talked about Solana, but we have this larger range, and we're ranging sideways between the point of control and the value area low. Now, we did lose the value area low briefly. We reclaimed it, kind of lost it again, but we from that low, from this area here, we reclaimed it, flipped it to support, and now we're pushing up here. And we're breaking our local range value area high. So it's bullish that we're breaking out of this local range, this sideways local range that we were seeing. We're starting to break out of that local range, and now we can look at our larger range. It was this entire range here between the point of control and the value area low. So that's what we want to be focusing on, is that price action. And we can turn on that range right there. Now, you can see that we also flipped the value area low of that range to support. And since we touched it and flipped it to support, we're impulsing nicely to the upside. We are coming up to your resistance of the POC. And yes, we might see a small pullback from this 132 area, 132.4. But I actually like this golden pocket. So it's from the range highs down to those lows, those range lows. That golden pocket coming in right around your value area high. This is a nice little resistance area for me. So we might see this, even this impulse up from here continue until we get up to 135, 136 before seeing a small pullback, and then we could flip that point of control to support and continue working up higher. Let's look at our levels within there. So do we have any naked dailies? Naked daily at 125, and we also have a daily level at 125. So this is now going to be acting as a support level. We also have a daily at the value area low at 123. So 125, 123 are both going to be local supports now. You also remember I was talking about on the live stream earlier this week, that naked weekly point of control right below that liquidity. We never came down for that. And that was a shame that we never came down for that, but we didn't. Yeah. And so pretty much that's all we've got within this local area here. Let me just double check on those naked dailies. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty clear until we get up to 135, 136-ish. The most important things to look at in the market are volume and liquidity. And these guys right here, always pay attention to these liquidity levels. What I would say is this liquidity level into your golden pocket and value area high is what I would be looking at, probably sweeping both of those together. Sweep them both together, reject from this area, and we're either going to bounce from the POC and continue higher, or we're going to sweep that liquidity into golden pocket value area high and lose it and probably come down and sweep all of this liquidity. And I suspect it's going to be largely based off of what Bitcoin does. But a lot of the altcoin pairs against Bitcoin look bullish right now. So I am actually looking for a little bit of the altcoins to break out. Now, our total 3 market cap chart here, this is total 2, total 3 market cap chart here is still not quite at resistance either. That's the only one. Our total market cap chart is at resistance. Our total 2 market cap chart, including ETH, is at resistance. Total 3 market cap charts not at resistance. I was also looking at SUI earlier today. Okay, SUI's finally coming up into that resistance. This is a really good resistance for SUI, by the way, guys. Pitchfork band is at 162.7, but we have our value area high. We have our pitchfork band. We have a golden pocket, and we also have a naked weekly point of control up here. And then Say was coming up to its resistance just above. So a lot of the altcoins look like they could break out a little bit higher, continue, even if Bitcoin starts to range in this general area here. If Bitcoin starts to range around this 91K resistance, the altcoins could push up a bit higher. So I'm looking for Solana potentially to come up to 136, 135 to 137.5. But with the focus on grabbing this liquidity into 135.5. Sweeping both of them at the same time would be nice. Yeah, and that's honestly about it. We're still just ranging between our large point of control and our large value area low. But that value area low is holding. That's important that that value area low is holding. And that's a major range value area low. Small range, we're breaking out of it with volume to the upside. Nice big spike in volume on the breakout. Volume increasing on this push up, meaning it's more likely to be impulsive. All right, let me get back. Time Attack, welcome in, man. Good to see you in here, and thank you for being here. Thank you for modding. At THR Tiger weekly moving averages are OP. Let's fuck on those. Okay. Oh wait, I think you're talking to someone else. Okay. Time Attack, happy new year to you as well. And yes, we will absolutely check Chainlink for sure. And thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate that. I hope you did have a good new year. Okay, I need to catch up on this chat just a bit here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're gonna cover ETH. We'll cover Chainlink. We'll cover ETH. We'll cover Syrup. We're not okay. Sorry. Brian C. Woods. I see you asked about bought the lifetime indicator using a referral code for Nami. Well, thank you for that, Brian, and I hope it's treating you well, man. For me, I love it. I love Nami so much. And we'll do CRV as well. Yes. So let's get in AVAX. Yep, we'll do AVAX. We'll do CRV. We'll do I'm gonna go into time to Chainlink real quick. We'll cover these briefly. Chainlink is breaking out. We bounce from our small range value area low, and we're breaking out of the range. Long story short, this is our larger range, which is all the price action underneath our pitchfork. You can see our pitchfork is here. We're forming a range between our macro value area low and our pitchfork. The pitchfork is also where our large range point of control is. So Chainlink has a very similar situation to Solana. I'm going to go ahead and throw on our macro range. And this range is even longer than Solana's. It goes back to November of 2023, I believe. Let's see, macro range. So let me zoom out onto the daily. And you will see that this range, this whole upwards price action here, it goes back to November of 2023. So over 2 years long now. And look at what's happening here is we're ranging between the point of control and the value area low. Very similar to Solana. Now, we've lost our bullish pitchfork structure. We back tested it and our point of control, and we couldn't hold it. And we made a double bottom here. Not quite a SFP of the lows, which I did want to see, and I do still think is possible. We could be seeing another back test of this before coming down. But knowing that it's a major support level that we're at, the value area low of a 2-year long range, major support level, this could absolutely hold, and we could form an accumulation range in here. That's actually what I said a couple months ago when we first started coming down in here, or at least a month ago when we first started losing the pitchfork, that it's likely that we form some sort of accumulation here before breaking up and possibly coming up to $20, or so, or even higher. But within this price action is what we want to analyze, this little range within here. So if we zoom in on the charts and focus in on that range, 2-hour chart, let me get rid of that. We're breaking out of the small sideways range that we've been in for the past 2 weeks. That's just this little price action in here. We're breaking out of that consolidation. And I think that it's highly likely that we at least come up to our golden pocket value area high. So what we did is, remember how I said we're focusing on the price action between the POC and the value area low, just like Solana? Well, now we can pull a volume profile for that range. So that's what this is. You're taking all the price action from when you lost the pitchfork. You lose the pitchfork, we're taking all the price action underneath the pitchfork and underneath the POC. Now, we look at the important volume levels. We've broken above the value area or the POC of that range, and we're coming up towards value area high. We have not SFP'd any of this liquidity. These highs here, specifically this high, we did not SFP it earlier today. So that's an important thing. If you don't see a liquidity grab, then you're likely to continue pushing higher. So with that, you can see we're above it still. We have not seen a successful swing failure pattern. So with that, I am looking at Chainlink pushing up to around 13.75, and where we have our value area high in our golden pocket. Let's see. Do we have anything else in there? Naked monthly point of control. Let me just make sure that is fresh because I forgot to delete the one on Bitcoin. So I don't want to tell you guys that this is fresh yet. No, it's not. Yeah, and then is if we do reject from this is your next resistance, I would say. We do have some resistance around $14.50 as well. But what I would be looking at is if we are going to form a bigger accumulation range in this general area, you could reject from that golden pocket around 13.8 and continue down. Now, if you continue down, you can see your value area low has some support around $12, 11.92 or 11.93, I would say. We also have a naked daily point of control, actually this support level here, and that's where your larger, not larger, your smaller value area low is of this local range here. Your value area low is going to be right around $12 in this general area. So 12.2. Naked daily and a daily level. And then, of course, you could pull your golden pocket from the lows, your last lows, to wherever that high is going to be. We would also want to pay attention to this golden pocket because it's probably going to be around your range point of control. But we'll look at that time attack when that happens. If we do come up here and we reject, then we can look at a higher low bouncing from that golden pocket point of control, and then we might continue breaking up and take out these range highs here. I would just be looking, it's highly likely, look at, there's a fair value gap in here. So this is a fair value gap. We're about to break into that now. It's going to get sucked up right into that resistance. We're going to fill that fair value gap right into that resistance. So for me, it's highly likely. Money flow looks pretty bullish here. Do we see, let's go on to the 15-minute really quickly. Yeah, you are starting to form those bear divs you want to see too. You can see lower lows in the price action, money flow draining out. And NAMI has some bear divs as well. It also has some money flow bear divs. Very slight, but those are money flow bear divs. So I would expect this grind here to continue just a little bit more, making more drives of bear div. And you want to see that money flow continuing to drain out. Maybe crossing right into the red as we're hitting this on the 15. But that does look like you could get a decent short from that area. 13.75 to 13.85. Okay, let's do ETH real quickly. I still think ETH, 3,200 for ETH is about where I'm looking for ETH. Let's zoom out to the 2-hour chart. So ETH has its bigger sideways range as well. We bounced from the pitchfork midline, and we've just been chopping sideways here. And so we can look at this sideways range. That's pretty much your range with deviation here, deviation here. But we are above the value area low. You can see we deviated the value area low, came back in, back tested that value area low a bunch, and now we're breaking out here. And even around the POC, you were consolidating, breakout. So I think that we are going to come up. You have that internal liquidity that's resting right into the value area high and golden pocket. This is still the only thing that I'm interested in shorting on Ethereum if we do continue to push up there to that 3,200 area. And then as far as support goes, now our POC is going to be acting as support. We have a daily level there. Let me make sure that's a fresh daily level. Yes, it is from yesterday. We have a bunch of dailies below us. We've just been grinding up, making daily support levels. So we are building a pretty significant amount of support here on Ethereum around, like 2,900, this 2,950 to 2,900. Let's look at our naked daily. So yeah, you have a fresh naked daily at 2,973, and that's where your larger 6-week, 7-week long point of control is. So now this would be our support level that we need to be watching. This is going to be a naked daily point of control, a daily level, and your larger range point of control at around 2,970 to 2,960, let's say. Actually, 2,973 to 2,967. $5-6 area. And resistance is just this guy up here. Golden pocket value area high, liquidity grab. Let's see. I know I have that. There we go. See, I even have an alert set there. So if we see the liquidity grab into your golden pocket, I've said this so many times on the channel, anytime you have a liquidity grab into a golden pocket and then you lose that level, you can look for that short from this losing this level. It's also your value area high of your range. So that's where I'd be looking next for Ethereum. If you break out of that, if you break above this golden pocket, I mean, we might really start to cook up here on Ethereum. You have your 786 at 3,300, and that is, let's see, where was that? Let me check. No, I wouldn't even say that channel's too nicely respected anymore. Yes, that's okay. So you had the daily level at the 786. $33.25. If you break above this, you're going to get sucked up really quickly to $33.25. And then if you break above $33.25, you're probably going to see the liquidity grab of this high around $34.75. But I would be looking to come up towards 3,600. 3,600 was where your large 4-year long range value area high is into your pitchfork band. And there was also some other key resistances in that area. Liquidity grab, of course, of these highs. Okay, that was Ethereum. I'm going to go into syrup real quick. Wow. Okay, so it's a little bit of a newer coin here, but this does look pretty nice. You have this descending channel that's been forming. This does look pretty corrective here. Nice impulse here. You're starting to correct here. We're pushing up. We're right. It looks like we're right around the golden pocket from your last daily high to that low. Not quite yet, but we need to check this. All right, that's a 53% drop. So we're going to take this golden pocket. We're going to put it based off log scale because we are on the log scale. It's going to shift your golden pocket to the proper 61.8% retracement. I also see you do have a daily level right there. You can see these two candles where the open and close is. That's also your order block. Your daily order block is right there. That little green candle, this candle body of this green candle is an order block. So you have your order block and your daily level resting right into this golden pocket around 38, really 38.75 to like 39 cents would be the area if you are going to reject, because this was a nice range in here. You lost that range, and now if you're popping back into the volume profile. So let's pull that range. Yeah, actually, your back test to your value area low is there as well. So that's definitely resistance. This here is value area low, daily level, daily order block, golden pocket. 39, around 39 cents, I would say. Let's look at the naked daily points and controls and the naked weeklies. Okay, that naked monthly point of control is going to be interesting. Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't see naked dailies within here, but there probably is a naked daily point of control right around this little consolidation as well. Nice little bottoming reversal pattern, left shoulder ahead, right shoulder kind of bottom reversal. You're starting to break out of that. You've also back tested your midline. You're flipping your channel midline. So it's highly likely that we come up to 39 cents, in my opinion. 38 and yeah, about 39 cents. You're probably going to come up to 39 cents. This is the key back test. You're back testing your range value area low because this was your upper range. You lost it with a nice impulsive price action. You can even see locally you lost it, back tested it as resistance, and then dropped hard. So this, now that you've back tested it locally, made new lows, you formed a bottom, formed a little accumulation range here, you're breaking out. This back test right here is going to tell us everything. If we reject there, you could drop at least to your golden pocket, pulled from this low to that high. Or if you break above it, you're probably going to see a pretty significant push to the upside. You are forming some bear divs on this thing on the 4 hour. Higher highs here, lower highs here. You can see bear divs even in here. Hidden bear div just printed. That's already been invalidated, actually. Let's look on the daily time frame and look at. Yeah, even potential bear divs on the daily coming up to 39 cents. Higher highs. This has the potential, not confirmed yet, but the potential for lower highs. But you can see on NAMI, if we come up to 39 cents here and reject, this momentum wave is going to top, and you are going to confirm daily bearish divergences into that key back test. So be very wary of around 39 cents. Okay, we did ETH, we did syrup, AVAX. Let's look at AVAX really quickly here. All right. So AVAX, we were looking locally in this little range. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. Those support levels didn't quite get tapped. They were supportive. But this was the big order block we were looking at, guys. We literally tapped into that. That was our order block here. And a daily level, I believe it was. That little order block there was perfectly tapped. And we got support. We're pushing up. Here's the thing. Last time we looked at AVAX, remember, AVAX was bouncing from support and coming up to back test that pitchfork, and it was starting to reject. So we said, guys, if it does reject here, it's likely we are going to continue down. But I also said, if we can get back inside of it, then you're going to see a big pump. And as soon as we get back inside of it, look at that big bullish engulfing candle that you see, because you broke back inside. And the fact that we broke back inside with this huge imbalance candle with a lot of volume and a big imbalance means it was a strong push back inside your pitchfork. We are at resistance here. It's a naked daily point of control and a daily level right around the value area high of your range. So be wary that you could see a small pullback from here because it's value area high, naked daily, and daily level. But what I would be looking for now, because AVAX was able to break back inside, and actually this could get quite bullish here. If this is a multiple 1-2, like a 1-2-1-2, this could be a third wave here. You could keep pushing up 3, then 4 5s, 4 5s, and maybe push up to your pitchfork band above at around $16. We're starting to form a range at resistance, which is normal. If we do reject here, I would be looking for the back test of the pitchfork to now confirm the flip of reacceptance back within the pitchfork. And we can also look at pulling a local golden pocket pulled from that last low to the highs that we just saw. Okay, golden pocket. Let's put that on regular golden pocket. It's going to be closer to your 786, right underneath there. That's kind of where I'd be looking. Right around 12.5, 12.6. Let's see if we have a naked daily point of control in there. No naked dailies, but we do have. So this is going to be marked out as a naked daily. And I just want to check to see if there's a naked weekly there as well. Okay, you have a naked weekly from this week. It's not confirmed yet, but in a couple days, this naked weekly point of control, if it confirms, will be right on that back test of the pitchfork. That's what I'd be looking for. If you do form a range in here and reject, this would be support that maybe we could start to really push up here. 12.6, let's say. It's not confirmed yet, but it is still a naked weekly. It's a weekly point of control right now. And it is still a volume level of support as far as volume support goes right now, even though it's not confirmed on the weekly time frame yet. But this does look like it could be pretty bullish. You are forming some bear divs on the chart. You can see here lower highs on the momentum waves, higher highs on the price action. Also very locally here into resistance, you're forming bear divs on NAMI on the 2 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. No bear divs on the 1 hour for market cipher. Money flow is trying to cross into the red again, though. And you are forming bear divs on NAMI, and money flow is draining out. So you're at resistance. Let's just see, you did get that little sharp rejection. Now you're climbing back up. What you can do is pull your Fibonacci golden pocket from the highs to these lows. And you want to look between the golden pocket and the 786. So if we're going to reject and create a lower high, it's going to be pretty much right where we're at now. You did fill in some of this fair value gap in here, and now you're pushing back up. So that's nice. Yeah, and you got to be aware because 8 hour could be forming some bear divs here. Let's just say you're at your local resistance, value area high of this smaller bottoming range. And remember what we were talking about with AVAX overall as well. We're trying to form macro bottoms on a lot of these altcoins. So if we're trying to form a macro bottom in here, we want to see accumulation take a couple months. You have your left shoulder or your tap 1, your tap 2 here. This could push all the way up to $16 to take out this liquidity and even take out this liquidity here into your pitchfork and then roll all the way back over to hit the bottom of the pitchfork again. And then you would have your tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, larger bottoming reversal pattern at around $12. And then you would want to see this thing break out and expand up here, probably expand up to about $24, $25. But this would be your accumulation range in formation. And it looks like it's still in progress. So we might have to be patient. But locally, even AVAX could break up $15, $16 in the next week or two. And you would be seeing that bottom reversal pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder type of thing, whether you want to call that inverse head and shoulders or a model 2 accumulation. Okay, let's check this. All right, I need to catch up on this chat. Every time bear market, Bitcoin has tested the 50-week moving average as resistance. Yes. So Tiki Taku, you're right. Every time in prior bear markets, Bitcoin has came back up to retest that 50-week moving average before starting like the real bear market. Okay. Bought the lifetime indicator. Oh, yep. Okay, cool. I'm there. Okay. Yes, CRV. Let's go to CRV here. Well, CRV looks actually very, very similar to AVAX right now. This in here looks like it's starting to get some selling pressure exhaustion. You're starting to find a bottom here. So what we want to see is we want to see a nice break in bullish market structure. You really want to break above these highs at, what is that? At about 43 cents. If you can break above 43 cents, you would have a nice little bottoming reversal pattern that you could be seeing here, where you have this like left shoulder here, you have the consolidation in here, you get the dump right head here, and then you have your right shoulder here, but you want to break up here. You don't want to SFP that. I mean, if you do SFP that, you might be coming down again to take out those lows and create a bigger accumulation zone, which is likely, it could be likely. I mean, we did reject from this resistance. We marked that out. That rejected us. Get rid of that. That was your point of control in confluence with your golden pocket, and it was also the value area low of this prior accumulation range. So we rejected, we dropped, and we took the liquidity of these key lows here. I want to look at this smaller range, sideways range here, and let me hide this bigger one. Yeah, now here's what's happening. Of this could be a nice corrective move. Impulse down, 3-wave correction up, impulse down. This could be a big, huge flat correction in here. You just took out the liquidity. So if this is an A, B, C, that's a flat. So the flat oftentimes will come up to like the 0. Well, this is the 786. Let me see this. Let's put this. So based off log scale, and then we need to make the 0.9 Fibonacci. So I'm just going to do this, and we're going to do 0.9. Dang, we just barely front ran. So in a flat correction, generally you want to hit that 0.9. That's your minimum target there. But we pretty much came up to the 0.9. And then after that, you want to come down and take out your A wave lows. So we did do that. So this could be a larger flat correction in here. And now we could be about to push up again. But within this C wave down, we want to start to find a floor in here. We want to start to find some accumulation happen here. So it's likely that we do form a little bit of a range at this support level. It is the value area low of your range that we're in. Let's go to the weeklies. I'm going to get rid of this weekly now because we're kind of just chopping around this weekly. We took the liquidity, so I'm going to get rid of that. But a very nice liquidity grab of those lows. Yeah, I think this looks very nice. And then your larger sideways range is this guy here. This is a nice sideways range with this being a little bit of a deviation of that range. You lost it. You formed a little bit of a range. You got back inside of it. So we can also look at that larger range, which I believe is what. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, this is here. You could even pull it to like there. But that POC, both POCs are about the same area. So what we want to look at is those POCs at about 50 cents, 51 cents ish. Before I move on, I want to mark out this weekly level of resistance. Okay, let's go to the daily. Yeah, you have a daily level that's just above that POC. And you're tapping this daily right now. We're at this daily right here was not tapped. We're tapping it today. So you're at very local resistance being tapped right now. That's the last daily on this push down. All of this push down. Let's see. That daily's been tapped. Yeah, so this was your last significant daily level all the way up to 52 cents. And then what we want to do is pull our Fibonacci golden pocket from our last major rejection of the POC down to the lows that we made. We're going to turn on our golden pocket, but we want this. Let's see if this is more than 30%. Yeah, that's a 39%. So we're going to take this golden pocket. We're going to put it based off log scale. So golden pocket, and then I want to add our 786 to that. I mean, we have all of these lower highs coming in here, all this liquidity trail. If we can break above, if we can break market structure, we really want to see us break all those highs at the same time. So you have the top of that liquidity trail into your golden pocket at 46 cents. Yeah, and I would be looking at this bottoming range here. So you're definitely at resistance right now. You're tapping your daily into your value area high. And look at this value area high, rejection, rejection, rejection. You're rejecting from your value area high in your daily level of resistance right now. Now, you do have a fresh naked weekly point of control at your range point of control here at 38 cents. So we need to watch for a drop to here and then the breakout of the range. And you would want to break out. You would want to watch for the SFP here. But if you don't SFP that, you're probably going to come up to 46 cents. And if you reject from 46 cents, you're going to want to back test this prior range value area high and then continue pushing. Let's see here. This naked daily is nice because you do have that liquidity that's right around it. So that could be a nice little support level for you. Now hide this bigger range really quickly, and we're just going to focus on this. This could be a contracting diagonal. Let's see. Did this drop to the golden pocket? Yeah, you drop to your golden pocket and you bounce from your golden pocket. So impulse up, drop to your golden pocket. This could be a wave 3 breakout to 46 cents. You might see a small pullback here and then continue it. So 38.71, that naked weekly point of control might act as support locally. And then we could pull a Fibonacci from the lows, your most prior lows or most recent lows to the highs that we just created today. And you want to turn on the 382 because the 382 often acts as support or resistance in a strong trend. 382 there. All right, that 382 is not quite to that naked weekly. I wanted a little bit better confluence there. Dang. Just know you're at resistance. You're hitting your daily into your value area high. And you could see on that 4-hour chart, you just wicked above the value area high to hit the daily, but you didn't break out of this volume profile. You also took the liquidity that was resting up here. So this could be a reversal point, at least to come down to 38 cents, 38.71. If you lose 38.71, if you lose that, you are likely to continue down. Let's pull our golden pocket. Let me get rid of the, yeah. Actually, that golden pocket has been hit already pretty much because that was this golden pocket right here. So it was hit. Now we have a new high just very locally. It's going to raise the golden pocket just a little bit. I would be looking at your 786 into the value area low. If you lose 38.71, you might come all the way down and see a full reversal. But CRV looks pretty good. You are creating bear divs now. Bear divs here on the 4-hour chart, grabbing liquidity into resistance at value area high. Be careful. This could absolutely be a pullback area. Okay. Oh, Steel and Stone, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. Thanks to you and Andy Bitcoin Consensus, a lot of hard learning the past few years. My trading the last 9 months has become much more consistent and steady. Dude, that is so awesome to hear. Can't thank you enough for all the lessons you and Andy give. Well, happy New Year's to you as well, man. And Stealing Stone, that makes me so happy to hear that. That makes me so happy that just watching and learning, like this should let everyone know you don't have to take a bunch of fancy courses. You don't have to do it's about learning consistent, like being disciplined, consistency with your own trading, but also you can just watch people that you know are decent traders and learn from them. You know, tune in every single day, learn a little bit, and work on implementing that in your own style of trading. But that is so awesome to hear, Steel and Stone. So thank you for the super chat, and I'm really happy, man. I'm really happy that that is working for you. Okay. Did I see any of your scalp trades, Jaffiel? Are you talking about the ones in the Telegram? I haven't looked at the Telegram today, scalp trades today, but I can check that out. And yes, we'll look at XRP here. Let me not too much, please. Okay, let me see. I don't think we see 91K even. Well, we're right around 91K, and that's let's actually want to check Bitcoin real quick. What is Bitcoin doing? Yeah, here's the thing. This is a slow, grindy push down so far. This actually looks pretty corrective to me. We might make another local high in here. Money flow doesn't look the best, and you did have the bear divs. That does not look good there. Money flow is just crossing into the red on the 12-minute. I want to just check 15 here. Yeah, it does look pretty bad here, guys. You're at resistance. You do have some local bear divs, 1 hour, 15-minute and under, 1 hour and under. So we might see a bit of a pullback. Remember, 87.5K is now going to be a support level because we have a naked daily point of control and a daily level there. If you lose 89K, 89K is your small range value area high of this small area in here. But nothing really has changed. We're still within this range. We just took the highs of the range into resistance. So this is a spot where you could reverse now, come down to 87.5, or if you lose 87.5, you are going to sweep all this liquidity. A lot of people were getting bullish at the highs here today, thinking we were going to see a breakout. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat as well, dude. I hope that CRV analysis helped a little bit. And yeah, you guys, I really appreciate these super chats and the kind words. Thank you all so much. You see 100K first or 78K first? I think we see 78K first, CJ. I do. I think if anything, we might come up to 96.5 to 97K before seeing 78K, but I do think we're going to see the lower targets first. Until we change something, we're still with it. People are starting to get super bullish. We're just ranging sideways, guys. And you see a little small pump and the whole world says 200K is coming. It's like, how many times did people say 200K here or 200K here or 200K in this little guy? I remember when we were breaking out here, a lot of people were getting bullish. So we're just in a larger, this entire sideways range so far looks more corrective than impulsive. And yes, the correction could be a larger zigzag correction that comes all the way up to 96, 97. But I still think this is going to be a corrective move before coming down. If that, we could come down from here. Okay, what was I just going to check? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find a comment someone just said. Yes, Vibonashina 9405. I am in Jason Casper's community. I've been part of his community for like 6 years now or more. Okay. Scalp trades. Okay, I read that. Yeah, please hit the like button, guys. If you get any sort of insight into these coins, please hit the like button for me. And not forcing trades, but curious if you see anything good locally for today. Are you talking about Jawfield? Are you talking about on Solana or are you talking about on Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin, we actually did see that short. The short is from this box up here, and we might come up again. We might come up again. You do have some local bear divs, like 15-minute and under looks pretty dang bearish. But so far, this is still all kind of bullish market structure in here. And we might continue to grind up to hit the value area high. So I would be, if we SFP the highs that we just created today, again, I would take that short. Oops, that's supposed to be. If we SFP this 91K pretty much into your value area high and your anchored VWAP, I would be looking for that short. Okay, wait. Anything? Look at my message a few lines above. Okay, so not forcing trades. You said you were going to be trying to catch some. Oh, yes. Okay, I am going to be trying to catch some trades. So here's the thing. Sui is at resistance right now, guys, and Sui's at a really good resistance. The one thing on Sui is we have to watch out for. This could be an impulse to the upside. So this could be a wave 1, wave 2, internal wave 1, internal wave 2, and this could be a big breakout in a third wave. But if it's not going to be, if this was the end of a, this was like the end of a flat correction in here or some sort of corrective move, and we're going to see another corrective move up to this resistance, this is the area to reject. It is a pitchfork. Your pitchfork band is here. Your golden pockets here. Your value area highs here. And you have a naked weekly point of control in here as well. Let's pull that naked weekly point of control at 160. So we're tapping it right now. See, we're tapping the golden pocket and the naked weekly right now on Sui. It scares me because this does kind of look bullish here. You have your kind of channel in here. You're breaking out, and this might continue pushing up, and it might continue pushing up to the top of the pitchfork band to take out this internal liquidity into the top of the pitchfork band, or even come take out this one. And we shorted this, if you guys remember. We shorted that. The thing with Sui is it's at the bottom of a pitchfork, a macro pitchfork. We're at the bottom. It was also our larger 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. Let's do this here. So Sui had a very clear impulse to the upside right here. Very clear impulse. Once that impulse finishes, you're looking for a corrective move. This was an impulse down. This was a 3-wave corrective move up. This was an impulse down. Now, if this is the end of that, if you take your trend-based Fibonacci extinction, A, B, this is the start of your B wave. This is the end of your B wave. So you take that Fibonacci trend-based extinction, looking at your C wave targets, you want to look between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. Well, the 1-to-1 was at the bottom of the pitchfork right here, and the 1.236 is at $1.09, which you have a nice daily order block there, and you have your log golden pocket there. So, but so far, we are very nicely holding the bottom of the pitchfork here. Let me hide this. Very nicely holding the bottom of the pitchfork. I don't like how we didn't grab that liquidity, but this could be sort of that, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, and we could be about to impulse. This is a very risky to short this, but we are at resistance here. So I would say this. Yeah, you did have some bull divs on NAMI taking out this low, and this was a liquidity grab. You can see here that was a liquidity grab. So we had lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves at the bottom of your pitchfork. And then this could be, your tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. And then now you're starting a 1-2, 1-2, and this is going to be a 3. You know, maybe you're going to see a 4, 5, 4, 5, something like that. And this starts with a channel, ends with a channel type of thing. And that could be the start of your impulse up. And then, you know, you might see a corrective move to the bottom and then come all the way up to back test your value area low in your pitchfork midline. So, 15-minute chart. Yeah, Sui still looks pretty strong here, but look at this. You are developing some bear divs on the chart. Money flow is draining out here. No real bear divs on market site or on NAMI yet. Let's go to the hourly. Hourly has very slight bear divs on market cipher B. NAMI doesn't have really any bear divs yet. Man, this looks like it might break out, guys. Like break higher. So to answer your question, I don't know if we're at resistance on Sui. I'm not seeing, personally for myself, I'm not seeing enough confirmation to short this right now. Let's go to Say. No, Say's not quite at resistance yet. And you have a very similar structure with Say as well. Breaking out of your sideways range here. We have some daily levels above us. Where's that at? Man, Say's got pretty clear skies above us, though. And you're chopping within this pitchfork band. So remember on Say, we lost the pitchfork midline, flipped it to resistance. We dropped to the lower band. But then when we lost this lower band, let me hide this real quick here. So we bounced from we were chopping around, forming this sideways range at your pitchfork band. We lost it, and we were coming up to backtest it. If you can get back inside of it, you're likely to fill it to the top, at least backtesting this part. If you reject there, you're probably going to continue down. But if you can get back above this, man, I think we're going to come all the way up to 16 cents here, or 15.6. Take these highs. That's the bearish. That's the back test of your value area low. So this actually could be a decent long on Say. We could get a decent long up to like 15.6 cents. I don't know if obviously you're not going to long it right now. You're going to wait for a small pullback. But what I would be waiting for on Say is if we do pull back to back test this small range in here, value area high. Actually, I would even pull it like this, something like this, to back test around 11.5, and it holds. You're probably gonna push up. In some ways, we already did. We broke out of it, back tested it, and we're pushing up. Money flow looks really bullish here. Potential bear divs forming. Money flow looks really good, though. Man, actually, Say looks bullish. BNB's hitting resistance right now. It's the value area low or value area high of your range. Get rid of this. That's old. We can get rid of this. So you're coming up to this golden pocket, hitting the golden pocket and hitting your value area high. Bounce from value area low, flipped POC to support. You've continued up to your resistance. This POC at 845 looks pretty nice. Let me do this. Yeah, if we come down to 846, 847, this could be a good long on BNB. I bet you there's going to be a naked daily point of control in there as well. Let's see if there's a naked weekly. Just below it is a naked weekly. So definitely between like 847 and 843 is going to be a really nice support level for BNB. I'm actually going to set an alert here. Oh, geez, Save 77. Welcome in, man. God bless you, and I hope you have a good New Year as well. Thank you for joining. Oh, we forgot to check XRP. XRP, did we check XRP? XRP is bouncing from our value area low, and we're starting to push up pretty nicely here. I think the next resistance is between 202 and 203 on XRP. I believe there was a daily level and a naked daily point of control. There shouldn't be two there. What was it? A daily level and a golden pocket, maybe it was. Yeah. Daily level golden pocket is at 203. So you're coming up to that resistance here on XRP, but XRP is breaking out pretty nicely here. You're breaking above these range highs. Now be careful because you could just be doing an SFP of this high. You can see how we kind of SFP'd that high. Actually, we're not really SFPing it. This actually looks kind of nice here. You might be forming like a small triangle in here. I think this could continue up to 203. If you pull back to the VWAP at 193.5, that could be a good long drop fuel at 193.5. That's your midline. So if you do pull back here, boom, and then you could take that up to 203. But right now, man, we're at resistance on a lot of coins, but we're not really seeing the great confirmations. And I suspect it's going to be all based on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin starts to reject, then we're going to see these altcoins. Actually, let's check Bitcoin dominance. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bitcoin dominance is losing it's losing our range. We had this sideways range in here. Wow. I think the altcoins are going to start pumping against Bitcoin here pretty aggressively because we're also losing our POC of our range. Yeah, you were at resistance at Bitcoin dominance. We were at resistance. We're rejecting. We're now starting to lose the POC of the range. We're probably going to drop. The 786 actually looks a little nicer because you would take out all this liquidity in here, per se. I know it's not actual liquidity, but yeah, this could really, guys, this could really be impulse correction, impulse down here, and we could see altcoins really start to run. Big bearish engulfing candle on the daily, or just a big bearish candle. So I would be knowing that Bitcoin dominance is losing the value or the point of control of our range. I would really be focused on looking for longs on altcoins. Now, a lot of altcoins are pulling back, right, or are at resistance right now. So we have to wait for a pullback. And so you could be looking for scalp longs. Anytime you pull back to a VWAP on a super bullish day, if you start to bounce from that VWAP, you can long that VWAP. So for instance, on Ethereum here, if Ethereum does pull back to this VWAP, wait for the bounce. Once it starts bouncing, so you're probably going to catch it a little bit higher than the VWAP, but you put that stop below wherever that wick low was, and I would be targeting 3,200, and there that's a really good scalp trade with a really good risk reward ratio just based off of that, so Ethereum looks pretty good. Let's see, Solana here. Man, Solana, Solana's we could pull back to the view. A lot of them are forming kind of a sort of consolidation in here. With some low time frame bear dips. So we might see little bits of pullbacks, but I'd really be watching for bounces from, if we come on Solana, if we come down to like 127 and backtest that or whatever that was, 128, let's say. If we come back down to 128, that could be a really nice long. Say you do come back down, backtest that, come up to 137. Why all of a sudden are alts pumping? Well, I'm not 100% sure on that. I know there was some bullish news about some ETFs coming out that are going to include altcoins as well in the United States. So that might be the reason why a lot of these larger altcoins that could be in these ETFs are probably going to see people trying to get ahead of the inflows of ETFs. Yeah, if it's not retail, it might be that. And it is the new year. You know that major institutions rebalance, and at the beginning of the year, they start to invest. Now, I wouldn't think it would happen on a Friday of a holiday weekend. You would think it would happen at like January 5th on Monday or later. But who knows, man? All I can say is technically they're starting to break out. A lot of them are at resistance, but we're starting to break out of some local ranges that we've been chopping in for a few weeks. But good for today. You know what? The Sui, guys, it's at resistance right now. Sui looks really good for a breakout. So we have our larger sideways range here. You're at the value area high of that range, and you're at some very key resistance. But this smaller range in here, we broke out of it pretty nicely. And so what we can do, let's pull that volume profile of this smaller sideways range. Yeah. I wouldn't want to drop all the way back down to back test that though. You'd want to, if you come down and retest your prior highs around 151.5, that might be a decent long position. Or even the VWAP. Once again, if you pull back to the VWAP, this would have been such a nice long here. Because if this is a 1-2, 1-2, and we really are about to break up in a 3, man, could be juicy. Trying to think which ones haven't pumped yet. AVAX is at resistance. Chainlink. Chainlink's not quite to resistance yet. And we are maintaining above these range highs. If Chainlink does pull back to the VWAP, that one could be super nice to long. Pull back here. You could long this and bring it up to here. So you'd be longing in this general area. Stop would go below the low, and you'd be targeting that 13.75 to 13.85. Nice little 6.5 risk to reward ratio there. Near. Oh man, look at this. Near was holding support. Obviously, these have been broken. Near looks very similar to Solana, where it created this sideways range and had a little breakdown of the range. And now, so look at Solana. Let's go back to Solana. Solana had that sideways range, broke it down, and is now trying to get back inside of it, or it is back inside of it. Near's just a much larger version of that. What we need to watch for on Near is the back test of the pitchfork midline. And that's going to be around 192, let's say. It's also going to be an important support resistance flip area. Let's pull this sideways range. 222. Okay. Nami was showing bull divs on the daily on this little drop here. But even with what we're seeing right now on near, it does look like this could also be the start of a 1-2, 1-2, and then we're going to shoot up in a third wave here. You know, maybe 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and take out all this liquidity, maybe back testing that value area low. Yeah, you're breaking out of this range with some nice volume, and you're even flipping your prior highs to support. So remember how I just talked about how you can use prior highs? You break out, you flip it to support, you continue. Honestly, near doesn't look that bad to long either. Like we could pull a couple Fibonacci's here. Okay, that's pretty much 30%. So interesting. All right, 175. And that's where your value area low is. Near is highly likely to push up to around $1.75, in my opinion. You have the internal liquidity from these highs into your back test of a value area low and your log golden pocket. You've already back tested your prior highs and flipped them to support. I mean, I think near. The thing is, if you long it now, you're doing bad risk management, right? So if we long now, even if you put your stop below that local low and target golden pocket, you know, that's a 1-to-1 trade. Not really worth it right now, but it is highly likely to continue up to 175. Man, we missed some good breakouts. What level would be good? 128 would be really good to catch the Solana long. I don't know if we're going to get down there. You could look at those prior highs as well. 130 pretty much. And take it up to 136, 137. At like 135 and a half. This liquidity grab into your golden pocket. Luciano, thank you so much, man. I don't know if I saw your last message. But thank you, man. I hope you have a blessed day too, and Happy New Year to you. Okay, Sui's at POC of the whole range of price. Big resistance 162. Diamond Palm, welcome in, man. Good to see you in here as well. I hope you did have a good New Year's as well. You're shorting everything. Well, we are at resistance, guys. We are at resistance on a lot of these coins. So yes, you should be looking for shorts at resistances, not longs. But I will say this, the market does look semi-bullish right now with Bitcoin dominance breaking down aggressively. The altcoins could pump against Bitcoin. But we know if Bitcoin does reject this area of 91K, we are going to see the altcoins eventually follow. Altcoins might pump for a little bit more though. Yeah. Sui is at POC resistance, you said, of a bigger. Well, Sui's at, I think it's probably, let's zoom out onto the daily. And I think, well, I have a couple ranges I'm looking at on Sui. So I'm looking at this larger range up here that we broke down from. And your back test of the value area low is going to be at 230, 229, let's say. That is going to be such a crucial back test. You have liquidity resting up there too. The larger range, let's see, you must be talking about like this sideways range, maybe? Yeah, you're at the POC of that much larger range. The thing is, like, this was a very clear impulse. I guess, yeah, that actually does work because look at that range is a very valid range because you impulsed up, you drop to the value area low of the range, you're holding that value area low, and you're coming up to POC right now. So definitely big resistance. And this is the thing, if Sui's going to be a double 1-2, it's going to break through that. But if it's not a double 1-2, we're going to reject and probably come back down to back test that pitchfork again, or at least your very small range value area high in these POCs in here at like 144.5, 144.5. Interesting, though. That is a nice range, actually. Very nice range. For me, at least on Coinbase, it looks like the POC is just a little bit higher. It's coming in right around 168. Maybe you pulled it from here. No, that pushes your POC way higher. But yeah, I see what you're saying there. I'm going to keep that range on my chart. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button for me. Appreciate you guys being here on this Friday. I know that it's kind of a New Year's weekend, so obviously you guys have some discipline to be looking at trading during a New Year's, weekend. I know it's Friday, but it's pretty much New Year's weekend. Yeah, this is looking bullish, guys. This thing is just we just busted through the value area high and the naked weekly. Yes, we're coming up to the pitchfork band and the 0.65 golden pocket here. But Sui, gosh, Sui is about to rip, I think. 168 was that bigger POC on Coinbase. The one thing that I look at when I'm looking at the Elliott wave structure is this really could be a double 1-2 impulse here, guys. And it starts like this. It often starts like this, a wave 1, a wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, big breakout in a wave 3, and then you get your 4 5s that come in towards the end. And how nice would that be if Sui does break up? We see a small pullback right before grabbing liquidity of these highs. So we have our 1-2, 1-2, our big 3, reject from here. Everyone, taking only this liquidity. See a small rejection, get your 4 5s, 4 5s, and take out these highs afterwards. And then maybe backtest the value area high of this range and then continue up. XPL short. Okay, let's check out XPL. XPL. Is this what you're looking at? Is this the right chart you're looking at here? You want to short this? I mean, this thing looks like it could be about to short squeeze. Look at all this liquidity trail, and it's really starting to break that now. I don't know what this coin is, but this is begging to be short squeezed. Oh, yeah. You're breaking out of that channel. You can see you're chopping sideways and down within this channel. You're breaking out of it pretty aggressively. Now, where would I look for the shorts? If you start taking out these highs right here, you might see a liquidity grab of these dual highs. These are equal highs right here. And then what you can do is look for that Fibonacci golden pocket from the highs of the channel to those lows. Now you're going to put that on log scale because that's more than a 30% drop. Yeah. Yep, and you have a weekly level right in that golden pocket. You also are hitting a weekly right now. So you could we'll look into that in just a second. Let me check the daily. Daily's also right here. So this is your bigger resistance up here. It's a weekly, a daily, a golden pocket. But you are at a resistance weekly resistance right now. And you kind of have a daily below us, but the weekly's definitely a better look there. All right. And then you have this daily in here right next to that liquidity. So let's check out our naked weekly points of controls. Remember, points of controls generally are stronger than time frame levels, and this naked weekly point of control has liquidity resting right there. I'll zoom in and show you guys that in just a second. And you also have a naked daily there as well. So very nice volume level of resistance right above us. We zoom in here to the 2-hour chart. These highs right here into a naked weekly point of control. So you have that swing failure pattern into a naked weekly at 21 cents, pretty much 20.95. You're hitting a weekly right now. So yeah, you are at short. You are at resistance, excuse me, but no bear divs locally on the 2-hour. NAMI is showing some bear divs within this push up. Higher highs here, lower highs here, even here. Four-hour, yeah. No, not really even bear divs there. No real bear divs here. I think you can keep, you might see a small pullback from here, but I think it's going to keep overall grinding up, making higher highs and higher lows, at least until 21 cents. It would even be nicer to take that 22.8 liquidity. But this thing could short squeeze all the way up to 31.75 or like 31 cents. So, yeah, I don't know if I would be longing this right now because you're literally at resistance. But if you pull back a little bit on this, you might be able to get a decent long position up to 31, like a day trade long position. You know, that 15.2. This is going to be where your golden pocket is, probably. So we'll mark that naked weekly out. And then we could pull our golden pocket from the lows to our current highs. No, actually, yeah, that. Okay. This golden pocket right here at 14.5, you have liquidity resting right down there. And remember, there was that naked daily point of control that was pretty much right in that exact area, too. I'm going to set this alert. I wonder if this is on my exchange. This coin. Yeah, I mean, Indy, they've started to accumulate. I would say some of them have started to, like Solana here does look like it's starting its accumulation phase. You're at the value area low of your macro range here. And you can see this is starting to maybe be like a tap one in here, a tap two here, Now we could still come all the way up to the top of the range again, fall all the way back down, and this could be like a tap 3, and this all could be sort of an accumulation range that lasts a few months here. So, yeah, I would say some of them have, started to. Oh, Samuel S., thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you being in here. Thank you for modding. Thank you for the super chat. That's very awesome of you. Gosh, you guys are I have such awesome community and such awesome mods. I really do appreciate all of you so much. And, I hardly make jack squat off YouTube. I think, and I do have a smaller YouTube channel, but I think, like this last month, I made like $130 in ads. And I'm definitely not doing YouTube for the money. I just love, Jason was the one, I love community. I was in his community for 5 or 6 years. Really enjoyed conversing with all the people and just sharing my TA and my thoughts. And when Jason said you should open a channel of your own, I did. And really it's just because I love hanging out with fellow traders and looking at trades. And I also think we all give each other different ideas and opinions on the trading markets. And thank you, Indy. I appreciate that. Yeah, it just doesn't look right for me. No, Indy, I don't think if we're in accumulation, I definitely don't think it's over with yet, because like for instance on Solana, we could still push all the way back up to this general area up here and then reject, and it could take another long while before, and that would make sense for more of a kind of a rounded bottom and a bigger accumulation. Because you're right, accumulation generally takes time to play out. And yes, some time has passed, but I would like to see a little bit more. AVAX is another one that looks like it could be in the middle of an accumulation phase. Something like this, where you kind of have the tap 1 in here, tap 2 down here. And then if we, push up here, reject, or even push up to 16 and reject, and then start to come back down and back test that pitchfork, could be a nice little accumulation. Okay, let me check the order flow. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of positions close out right now. I mean, we're at resistance, and the thing was, guys, we had those longs stepping in right at resistance. It kind of ruining the party for the longers. But if Bitcoin is just chopping around at resistance, the altcoins really could, with Bitcoin dominance sharply dropping the way it is, we could see a bit of a pump on some of these altcoins. Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is money flow just crossing into the red here on the 4-hour. I mean, and we're losing this range, this upper range that was in here. We're losing it with volume. I think, yeah, Sui's coming up to that pitchfork band and the 0.65 golden pocket. But to me, this is looking more and more like a third wave. You want to see this thing keep increasing on the volume here, though. Thanks for all you do. I'm looking at the charts daily and looking for potential shorts and share the ideas with the community. That's so awesome. Vibe all day. Thank you for doing that too. And thank you guys for conversing in the chats and everything. I know Jawfuel, you're very active in there, and I appreciate that. Yeah, Jason was looking based off that weekly green dot on Bitcoin. He was looking for a bit of a push up on Bitcoin, and he was looking for well, he hasn't been focused on the altcoin so much. But yes, I know Jason is looking for a push up, and it's still high, guys. Overall, in the bigger range, in this bigger range, we absolutely could see a push up to 96, 97, and still see overall a corrective move in here. But we would probably come take out this liquidity up here. And in the grand scheme of things, it wouldn't change too much as far as a potential bear market starting. Now, if we start to break back above 101.5, where that 50-week moving average is, then we could start talking. But yeah, I mean, we're just ranging sideways now. Within we're looks like we could be resolving this smaller range. If we break out here today, we could be resolving this smaller range, and we could start tackling the highs of the bigger range. But altcoins look juicy, man. And remember, a couple weeks ago, we looked at Ethereum against Bitcoin, and we said that, hey, it's likely that not only Ethereum breaks out against Bitcoin, but we looked at Solana against Bitcoin, and Solana looked like it wanted to break out against Bitcoin as well. But look at how nice this was. We, dropped to your POC. You had some resistance at the value area high, some resistance, and then you flipped it. And actually, if we pull this back a little bit, that value area high was a little bit lower. I believe it was a little bit lower. And we pretty much flipped the value area high, and now we're pushing up. I think ETH against Bitcoin is gonna come up to this area. Liquidity grab into a golden pocket and a naked daily point of control. And then honestly, if it breaks above this, we could really start to push up here on ETH BTC. You're breaking out of your you're breaking out of that range here. And remember, this entire push down, we were looking at this as a corrective move to bounce from the POC before making a fifth wave, because we're looking at this. Let me go to the daily. We're looking at an impulse here from the bottom, from your macro value area low. We're looking at a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then we want to see a wave 5 potentially coming all the way up to 0.5253. I mean, that could be so awesome, guys. Okay, the best one I am eyeing right now is River. Let's see River. USDT maybe. Is this the new a fairly new coin? Yeah, it looks like. This does look impulsive from the bottom. A 1, 2, we could be in a big third wave right now. I mean, you're breaking above your prior highs and nicely maintaining above them for a few days. Money flow looks really bullish on this thing too. So 1.618 is going to be a target. Let's make sure. Yep, based off log scale. At 2231, you might see a small pullback because if this is a 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you might get a 5 in there pushing up. But you're at all-time highs, at least on this chart. You're at all-time highs here. Yeah, Joffiel, he was a super guy. He loved super, but he said a few weeks ago, dude, I switched to Solana, and Solana's so much easier to trade. For me, Solana is such a technical coin to trade. I love Solana on how technical it is. What colors are my canvas? You mean my candles on the canvas? Let me see. I don't even know. They are like this color. Now I do keep the borders gray on them, and then the wicks, I just left them red and green because I like to see that red and green just for the wicks, but I didn't want the. Okay, Normal Swede, thank you so much, dude. Just want to share how grateful I am for these streams. I knew, of course, that Hood doesn't do it for the YouTube revenue. Love this kind of passion. Yeah, man. I love it, and I love that you can see that, and I love that you have that passion too. That's why you resonate with the channel. It's because you have that sort of passion too. So recognize that in yourself. And I think I remember you saying you're a bit newer in trading. Um, I have never taken a course in my life on trading. I learned from some great teachers. I've learned from Bitcoin Hyper. He was my original teacher. And then, of course, Jason Casper. I learned a lot from him. But a lot of this stuff I learned on my own too. Like, once you understand how price action works and you start to fool around with certain tools and, pitchforks and channels for me, I love them so much. Then you can learn, like, Elliott waves were a big help for me too. Once I learned a little bit about Elliott waves. Um, but once you get the hang of it, it's really comes down to risk management and discipline. And that is something I had to learn that the hard way for sure. I've wrecked many accounts, especially when I first started. Gosh, in 2019, I got into crypto towards the end of 2019 and I bought the top, of course. And then right as the Coinbase was listing as an IPO, I was, oh, the crypto market's going to pump so big now. And then it crashes and I was so underwater. I also lost a lot of money in BlockFi and what was the other one? Voyager, BlockFi and Voyager. And I was so pissed at that. And I was so pissed that I didn't pull it out while I had the chance. But you live and you learn and you rebuild and you keep going. Oh, this canvas here? This canvas is called gradient, I think it is. Yeah, gradient. So see for the background, it's just a gradient. But it's I forget what it is, but I like it too. Mark Dutch was telling me, suggesting to put the background to black, and it's just a little bit too dark for me. I like this gradient in here. Is Sui pushing? Sui is, I mean, oh wow, yeah, Sui's pushing, guys. Well, wait, it's right at that 0.65 golden pocket. So 0.65 golden pocket and the pitchfork band, the back test of the pitchfork band. This really is the key resistance right here. If we break this, I have to say, if we break this, this could be a 1-2, 1-2, and we could be in a big third wave here and see some 4-5s come in. That other range, that larger range, has the POC at 168.2, let's say. But if we break up there, we might only see this and then continuation. The big level on Sui is going to be the back test of our 229 level. So that is going to be this upper range. And like I said, guys, on Sui, this was a very clear impulse to the upside. Very clear impulse to the upside. Now, after an impulse finishes, you look for a corrective move. And if we're going to see a larger sideways correction, big A wave impulse down here, you had your B wave here, 3-wave corrective move, and then obviously this was an impulse to the downside, a C wave. If it's over with, now the one thing that I was saying, I'm not so sure it's over with, is because this in here was like a descending channel that is a bunch of 1-2s, right? So let me, if you go here and look at a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, that's a triple 1-2. You would have your big third wave down. We did have a 4-5, but we haven't had, if you have 3 1-2s, you need 3 4-5s. So this might, and sometimes your 4-5s are long. So we might even chop like here, forming some new lows and forming those 4-5s in a more sideways area. So it's likely that we could still chop in this general range here for a bit between the pitchfork band and the bottom of the pitchfork. There's really no other way to count that. Like, this is clearly impulsive price action. This is clearly a very nice push to the downside here. I mean, if all of this was a 1-2 and say this was your big third wave, then this was like a 4-5, 4-5, 4-5 here. That just, it doesn't seem likely that your third wave was going to be so short in time. And also, one of your 5 waves is like just as big as that third wave. And in triple 1-2s, especially if you have like a multiple 1-2 or a double 1-2, you generally have it kind of choppy overlap, big push up, and then you get that choppy overlap. And towards the end, it can be a little bit more sideways too, or like this channel in here. And then you start to drop. Uh, you've been trading for 2 years. Okay, that's awesome. Normal Swede, that's a starting decent amount of time now, and it seems like you're starting to get the hang of it now, right? Because that's the thing. It does take some time, and then as far like I can just go with my own experience. You think you get good, and then you might be good at TA, but then you're not so good at like risk management or FOMO or discipline, and you have to get humbled a few times, and then you start to say, gosh, okay, I know better, but I'm still making decisions I shouldn't make. Let me now wait, let me now actually follow my what I know I should be doing. It's starting to reject at that POC at 162. Yeah, I mean that POC, if are you using Bybit for that, Sui? Oops, Sui USDT. Oh, this is a logarithmic channel that I was looking at, or a Fibonacci channel, excuse me. But let's check out. Okay, that's not it. Oh, you were looking at Coinbase too? Huh. Are you pulling it from the what day was this? Wednesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day of 2024? Dang, yeah. I mean, slight bear divs, but nothing really is telling me we're going to reject yet. Yeah, we are starting 15-minute does have some decent bear divs here. Money flow overall is kind of draining out on this last little push up. If we can break, because remember, your value area high is going to be at, what is that? 160 pretty much. So even locally, you can see very locally, you kind of broke above it, back tested it, and then continued higher locally to hit that. We'll see if, I mean, you're definitely at resistance. This is definitely resistance. Golden pocket, pitchfork band, naked weekly point of control, value area high. Let's see what happens here. If it starts to break out of this, I mean, let's actually look at this. I didn't look at this. We'll take that trend-based Fibonacci extinction. And your 1.618 is at one. Yeah, so this, even if this is the third wave here, you have your 1 2 1 2, your big third wave, it usually comes to the 1.618. Then you could get some 4.5s in here. Let's make sure, because you can pull this a couple different ways. Let me. You have your primary one, and then you can go to that secondary 2 right here. So 168, and remember, that's where that other large, the point of control on Coinbase is at least on my chart from that February 14th. So you might continue up to 168, guys. This might be a 1 2 1 2. Your third wave continues here. Then you see a pullback 4 5 4 5, and you ultimately coming to take out this guy. May 15th. Okay. Of 2023. Oh, you're looking at pretty much the entire chart there. Okay. Well, what I would say with that, well, let me get rid of this brush. What I would say with that is this fixed range volume profile tool is a tool to measure the volume of a certain range. I would actually say that this bottom price action is one range in here. And then we kind of broke up into this upper range up here. So it's a new kind of fair value for the asset. Because what you're looking at is you're looking at the high volume nodes within a certain fair value for an asset. Here. So I would combining them. Yeah, you could combine them. Even I guess we could look for a chart that has more history on it. Here we go. Yeah, it's definitely, I would say this is definitely looking like one range because look at that's your listing top as well. That's a range. And then you now flipped that range. You broke above that range and you were holding the prior highs of that range as support until you're not. Now you're forming this. This could either reject here and continue down or not. It's just generally an important support resistance flip in general, like this. I can freaking get it. That general area. See, it was resistance, and then it kind of acted as support through here. But this range in here is really the range you want to be looking at most of all. And we're below it. If we can get back up to even back test it, and I think we might, form accumulation in here, back test. If you reject that, you're probably going to continue back down. If you can hold it, then, or if you can get back inside of it, then you have a high likelihood of working your way up to that point of control. It's just stuck there for right now. Bitcoin's bouncing from the VWAP, guys. So be careful. This is two bounces from the VWAP. It is likely that Bitcoin continues up locally here. We can look now at, that golden pocket 786 area. Now, Coinbase was the only one that had this wick. That's a big sell right there that only happened on Coinbase. But remember let's go to Bybit and let's pull that golden pocket there. So around 90.4K. Because if you look at the 786 of that one, it's still around 90.4K. 90.4, 90.5. Yeah, no, in Indy, even if you should always follow your own analysis, if you have that level there and you have your confirmations to short, no matter what anyone says, you should always follow your charts. Now, I just look at like other traders that I know and respect, like Andy and Jason, a couple others there. Like if they have major levels and I also have a level close by, I'm gonna be like, okay, yes, I know that it's a good level. Now I wait for confirmation. And I know this is a good level, whether it's your POC or just the golden pocket pitchfork band and the value area highs close by. I know it's resistance. So now we just say, okay, once we get in here, do we see any sign of weakness where we can short it? And so far, I don't see a sign of weakness here. Okay. Yeah, with us having such a big impulse down, I prefer to have a range of all of Sui's price only. Yeah, me too. You know what would be super nice, Indy, is if Sui did chop around between this pitchfork band and this the bottom of the pitchfork for a bit longer, like if we literally just did, you know, this for a bit longer and started to form a bit of a better accumulation in here, that would give us, once we do expand and finally break this up, we're gonna really shoot up here, and it could be super, super nice. And we could come to the upper band. It often will come to the upper band. If you consolidate around the bottom of a pitchfork and then you break above, it often comes to the upper band. Actually, there was a good example of that with Bitcoin and Ethereum. A returning BSC meme with strong backing built on BNB chain, 66% supply. Okay, BNB Peppy is back. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't trade meme coins too much, guys. Now, yes, if a meme coin is trending and is very popular, you can ride that sentiment. But remember, when these meme coins, the sentiment dies off, they have no use case, they tend to die out pretty aggressively. So I bought some Sui on spot right here, and I did sell it when we started losing these prior highs. We SFP'd these prior highs. I sold it in I waited. I think I sold it actually like right in here, right in this general area about the pitchfork band. And it wasn't a whole lot either, but I did buy some there. And now, I mean, Sui for spot, if we do come down to like 109, I will buy some more too. But this could be a good area to buy. It really depends on what happens with Bitcoin, guys. If Bitcoin is about to go into a bear market, I think these altcoins are going to get significantly destroyed, which is going to suck, but, you know, we'll see. 80 cents? Man, if we come down to 80 cents, let's see here on the daily. Yeah, we could see 80 cents. We definitely could see 80 cents. If we take this and we turn on our 786, 78 cents, we could definitely come down to 78 cents where that 786 is, and you also have some liquidity that's resting in that general area. And if we look at that trend-based Fibonacci extinction, hold on, let me just. You just don't really want to tap 70 cents, because if this is going to be a really big impulse to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, and you're going to come all the way down and take out this low. That's like if a bear market. If we have a bear market, we might have just one giant impulse down in the bear market. This is nice to see, though. So look at your volume. Your volume was increasing on that push to the upside on this impulse. And really, since the impulse has ended, yes, you do have some pretty big spikes in green volume, but volume is decreasing overall on this corrective move. So if volume is decreasing, this is more likely to be corrective. So it's more likely to make a higher low and then continue pushing up overall on more macro timeframes. Now, this is a weekly time frame, so it can consolidate down here for a bit and then start pushing up. And then once you want to see volume still getting lower and lower and lower, and then once you start to break this accumulation and expand, you want to see that spike in volume come in, some big spikes in volume come in. But Sui is a great project, like legit project. And I do think long term, like this is one of the ones I plan to own on spot long term. Oh, wow. Okay, guys, I do need to get going. I did not realize I was streaming for 3 hours. Gosh, time has been flying with you guys. This has been great. A great day. I think, yeah, and I think Solana's coming up to 136, 137, guys. I would 135 and a half at least. Like, let's see if we get this liquidity grab at 135.4 into your golden pocket. Would be really nice to see, and I think it's likely, honestly. Anyways, You guys have a wonderful weekend. I will be streaming again back to my normal schedule, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays next week. Just appreciate all of you so much. Please hit the like button on your way out. We might have a couple weeks of some nice altcoin trades. So let's take advantage of that. Today kind of sucked because we were at resistance on a lot of these coins as we started the stream. And we were not really seeing confirmation to short, or I would have shorted. Sui still is not really showing me what I want to see to short. If I do end up shorting this, like I might look for the short from 168.5, guys, because we do have that large range point of control there. And that's also your target for your third wave. So 168 could be a short, even to like we would want to let it, start to reject from that area. So maybe you get in at like 167.5 or something like that. But I would be looking to backtest the pitchfork band or backtest this value area high of this range that you're this larger range that is the bottom range. So even that's a 4-to-1 scalp, right? And that would be a fourth wave. So you would have this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, generally your fourth waves are longer or as long as your second waves. So that would have to be, we would have to kind of, I don't know, maybe, and generally you fall between the 382 and the 0.5, which would be falling back inside of this range. We'll have to look at that, how depending on when it goes. The third wave doesn't have to end here. The third wave could keep going up to here, and then we could see a larger corrective move within this pitchfork band, bounce here, create a 5, and then another 4 and another 5, coming to take out these highs. But if we do confirm, like push up to, what is this, like 173, take this internal liquidity at 173, maybe you could look for a short there to bring down to backtest the pitchfork band or the value area high around 160 to 162. But I would be looking, if we do this first, I would be looking for longs in here on this backtest. I would be looking for longs here to take out these highs. So we'll look at all that when the time comes. But appreciate all of you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful